All right. Shalom. First and foremost, I would like to give all praise and the glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakakwadash, and double honors unto the apostles and the elders of GMS who rule well, teach well, being great examples towards younger brothers. And peace and blessings, salutations to the hopeful elect out there pushing his word in truth and in sincerity across the four winds. In the name of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, pushing to get up out of here. Shalom to the hopeful elect, the believers, the listeners who have came back to the obedience of the scriptures through faith in Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. All right, and what I want to get into today is dealing with the book of Isaiah, all right, chapter 48 and verse 17, dealing with some reading. All right, I was doing this morning. Now, when you go to Isaiah 48 and 17, it said, "Thus said the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, thy Redeemer, the Holy One of Israel. I am the Lord thy power, which teacheth thee to profit, which leadeth thee by the way that thou shouldest go." You know, and the water, Yahweh Bashem Shai, all right, for raising up the prophets in these last days, beginning with the leadership of our apostles, okay, and elders and their elders, all right, that was raised up, all right, in this latter time, to teach us Yahweh Shai, which is teaching us the way that we should go. Okay, because everything that was taught to us by the enemy, Esau, even the devil, all right, was a destructive way. You see, Esau only taught us, okay, how to be rebellious to our power. Everything that this man has given us as a culture, as a lifestyle, ideology, okay, it all put us at odds with our power. You see, and this the devil, he knows how to dress it up, make it cute, even incentivize, all right, us as a people rebellion against our power. Okay? So we have to understand that Yahweh Bashem Al Shah raised up the prophets, okay, to teach us the way that we should go. All right. He gave us sound leadership, spiritual leaders, pastors after his own heart. All right, that will give us the understanding. And now what we're seeing that this is the profitable way to be. There's no doubt about it. Because we're learning how to live. We're learning what life is now. Under the teachings, okay, of Yahweh Bashem Al Shah, his word coming down, you know, and flooding the earth. We're learning how to live now. We're learning how to be. You see? But in this society, we didn't get that. We only learn how to die. Okay? When you go to Isaiah 47 again, said, "Thus said the Lord thy power, okay, thy Redeemer, the Holy One of Israel. I'm the Lord thy power, which teacheth thee to profit, which leadeth thee by the way that thou shouldest go." And let's go into this word way. Okay? All right. Would you go into the Hebrew word is the rock, okay, which is manner, a habit, a way, of course of life, of moral character, okay, of moral character, the course of life, a habit, things that you do repeatedly, man. And that's why the truth is all about rehearsing the righteous acts. You see, as we rehearse the righteous acts through faith, okay, as we constantly, self-examine, make adjustments, okay, well, it's putting us on the path and keeping us on the path, man. Their way. Because this is leading to immortality, man. Well, what I have to understand, this is leading to a righteous rulership, okay, that's getting ready to take conquer the earth. All right, Yahweh Shah is coming to conquer the earth in righteousness, man. So when we say we're rehearsing the righteous acts, we're rehearsing for this righteous rulership, man. The way that we are amongst, the brethren, okay, the way that we're loyal to our power, only serving Him, okay, only dealing with one doctrine, faithful to, faithful to one husband. You see, those spiritual virgins, man. Okay, so just as now, we're being, the Lord has tasked us, okay, with what, holding down the church while He was gone, okay, and when He comes back, we're gonna help Him run the world. You see, matter of fact, let's get this real quick. Because you go into this word, let's get this in St. John chapter 14. It's the book of St. John chapter 14 and verse 6. It says, Yahweh Shah said unto him, I am the way, the truth, and the life. No man cometh to the Father but by me. So that way, all right, in which we profit is Yahweh Shah. This is the biggest payoff we can do as an Israelite man. Okay, and you women being in order under those men, this is the biggest payoff you can have. Okay, way beyond, all right, a six-figure career in Babylon or government assistance, some shit like that. You know, that's your payoff for destroying yourself, destroying your nation, to be in rebellion against, you know, way more than going platinum or being, this popular nigga in the earth. Okay, which that's what Esau gives you, what to destroy. Okay, yourself and your people, to be rebellion, to forward rebellion. Esau only pays Jake to distract and forward rebellion. That's the only motivation, right? Esau has to give Jake these millions of dollars, to give a nigga woman these perks, because he's paying them to destroy themselves and their own people, and to be rebellious, to influence their people to be rebellious against their power. Okay, bragging about being a serial killer to your own people, that's rebellion against your power. A woman talking about she's independent and F a nigga, and she's rebelling against her own power and teaching other women to do so. Okay? And that's why Esau incentivizes that. Okay? That's why he constantly push movies and media and music as if you're doing the right thing. As if you're justified in moving in that manner and rebellion against your own power. Okay? But Yahweh Shai, all right, is the way. You see, now we're learning how to be pleasing to our power. Okay? Now we're learning how to be pleasing to Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. You see? And the way is Yahweh Shai. All right? As we see how Yahweh Shai was moving when he was here, well, we follow those moves. Okay? Because that word way in the Greek, hadas. All right? And now you go into it, says metaphor or cuss. It says a course of conduct, going back to conduct, a way, i.e., manner of thinking, feeling, or deciding. All right? Manner of thinking, feeling, or deciding, man. Okay? So Yahweh Shai, all right, as we follow Yahweh Shai, we come into a whole new way of thinking, feeling, and deciding, man. Our decision making change. Our thinking, our reasoning changes, man. And it's all geared towards, all right, reigning with Yahweh Shai forever in righteousness, man. That wasn't even the thought when we was in the world. We was in darkness. Okay? My eyes weren't privy, okay, to their perspective until we came into Yahweh Shai. You see? So the Heavenly Father said he teaches us to profit in the ways that we should go. Well, their way is Yahweh Shai. Okay? Which is putting us in good standings, okay, with our power. You see? I think even in this same chapter, yep, this is St. John 14 and 21. It said, he that have my commandments, this Yahweh Shai, and keepeth them. And the main thing Yahweh Shai pushing was loving the Father with all thy heart, mind, and soul, and love thy brethren as thyself. Okay, those two, all right, commandments alone puts us in good standings with our power. And there's a lot that go under that umbrella. Loving the Lord with all our power. We're not going to go into other doctrines and mix and infuse other doctrines with the truth. We're going to keep it pure. Okay, we're not going to allow other philosophies to penetrate us and be influenced by, other doctrines and falsehoods. No, we're going to stay true to this one doctrine. Okay, we're going to be faithful, okay, to our power. Okay, loving thy neighbor as thyself. You know, there's a lot that goes under that umbrella. Okay, because as we deal with, you know, the body with the brothers, you know, we in these camps. All right, there's a certain way we deal. Okay, and we always consider it, you know, of the body. We always consider it of the brothers, man. You know, we don't live for ourselves anymore. Okay, we move as a unit. Okay, within that, all right, we make sure that we're constantly putting brothers in the best position to win. All right, whatever that might look like, you know, because there's so many dynamics. But if we stand on that principle, love thy neighbor as thyself, okay, you're gonna always do the right thing in the moment, in the situation. Okay, so going back and say, he that have my commandments and keepeth them, he it is that loveth me, and he that loveth me shall be loved of my Father, and I will love him and will manifest myself unto him. So obedience to Yahweh, okay, not only, you know, is that he it is that loveth me, and he that loveth me shall be loved of my Father. Okay? So following Yahweh is putting us in good standings with the Heavenly Father. You know, and that's why the Lord just is finna give his people everything, man. The meek shall inherit the earth. You know, those that thirst for righteousness, all right, shall inherit the earth, shall be satisfied, man. Okay, well, what Yahweh Shah is getting ready to bring to the earth. So now we've been awakened, okay, to the thing that's going to profit us, man. Nothing else profit us in this system, man. You know, that's why people have only gotten worse. Because Esau, like I say, he's only giving our people an illusion of progress, an illusion of profit. Okay? It's all an illusion, but you look at the reality of the situation, because you look at the internet, you be like, damn, you know, you look at these niggas, this money, everybody got these houses and cars, and, you know, but then you look at the reality of Jake amongst our people, they've only gotten worse. Okay? Esau, he's not in, it doesn't benefit him to give us the true way. Okay? Because he know us in good standings without power, that's the end for him. Because he's the wicked. You see? We're the righteous, man. All right? So it's why it's two different agendas. Okay? But Yahweh Shai, you know, being obedient to our power is put us in a way that's going to be a profit unto us, man. Everybody finna win. Yahweh Shai, when he did what he did on the cross, that was for everybody to win. We're doing what we're doing now is we follow the stead of Yahweh Shai in that lot. All right, it's for everybody to win, man. Okay, the beginning with the men, women, and children. Okay, that were allotted for salvation. Okay, and that's why you go here to this Second Timothy 2:2. It said, therefore I endure all things for the elect's sake. All right, Second Timothy 10. No, it's like Second Timothy chapter 2, verse 10. Said, therefore I endure all things for the elect's sake, that they may also obtain the salvation which is in Hamashiach Yahweh Shai with eternal glory. Okay, with eternal glory. You see that? So what we're doing, we endure these things for the elect's sake. Okay, so we all can win. And Yahweh Shai was that example. You know, it's all about us profiting, man. Okay, and it's gonna be forever. You see, so this is why we're here to edify and to be an example of how we should be. Yahushua was an example of how we should be in the situation that we're in, man. You know, because he was born in captivity in Edom, Rome. We was born in this captivity in Edom, Rome. All right, and he showed us what was pleasing to the Father. Okay, to overcome the flesh. Okay, and to be in the spirit. Okay, and see beyond the current situation. Okay, and continue in obedience, man. Okay, so yeah, just wanted to get into that. Something I was reading this morning. We know the way. We on the path. Now just about closing out and finishing on that course. You know, so Lord will, and you brothers, all right, there you sisters edified once again. And we give all praise and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Kakadash, and double honors unto the apostles and the elders of GMS who rule well, teach well, being great examples who are your brothers. And peace and blessings, salutations to the hopeful. Shalom.